I'm just here to tell you, calling somebody skinny is not a compliment. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me again here on Christian's Corner for another amazing hot topic, one of which I have mentioned and talked about a little bit on Instagram, and I wanted to do a video about it because I think that it will definitely give like some kind of context and possibly help someone who may be surrounded by people who simply don't respect you for who you are, what you look like, and they try to project and make you feel bad for those very qualities. Okay, I'm not here for that. You're gonna learn today. No, but this video is definitely about having friends who literally project their insecurities or any form of self-consciousness onto you. And that doesn't feel good at all. And I've been there and I felt that. And I'm so glad that I never lost sight of who I was in the process. So let me give you a little backstory. I'm from Northwest Indiana. And growing up, I was always the smallest person in my circle, okay? My mom is small frame. I'm not gonna say my dad is small frame, but he's not a big guy. And so I've never been heavier than 122 pounds. Like that was my top weight before I had our first child. 122 pounds, and I was so happy. I was so happy because I used to like kind of low-key hate being the smallest person. I don't like to say skinny because I feel like that's just as derogatory as saying someone is fat. And that's coming straight from me, okay? Don't call nobody skinny because it's not a compliment, all right? But I used to not really like being the smallest person in the group. But I didn't really care because nobody else cared about it and nobody else made fun of me or talked about me or anything like that. It wouldn't be until I would move to Mississippi, y'all, that I would start literally hearing things like, you need to eat a steak sandwich. Oh my goodness, are you losing weight? That was one of the most frequently asked questions that I would hear when I lived in Mississippi. Have you lost weight? Girl, you small, you skinny. Stuff like that. Or you need to get in line first, you know, or I've even had it where someone has said, Courtney and Christian are always the first ones in line with their skinny selves. And my reply to that person was, and you shouldn't be in line at all, because she was heavy set, as we say in the Black community, heavy set. I got to a point where I just got tired of being picked on. I got tired of being insulted, if you will, and people saying it and laughing as if though if I were to, you know, rebuttal with a comment talking about their size, which wasn't skinny, I would then be in the wrong, right? Well, no, you can't dish it and then not be able to take it back, because I'm the person that will give you both sides of the card, all right? So I would go through my young adult life in Mississippi being made fun of, being talked about, my weight always being brought up, people always having something to say about it, to the point that it would actually cause me to start wearing layers of clothing. My husband can attest to this because when we first started dating, he's from Mississippi, that's where I met him, y'all. That's when I started layering my clothes. I mean, like wearing pairs of shorts underneath my pants. Wearing, I didn't pad the top. It was just really the bottom half because I wanted to look like I had curves. I wanted to look like I had a butt because that's what everybody else around me was commenting on. That's what everybody else around me had. Like everybody in Mississippi was thick, cornbread fed, as they say. I don't have a problem with it. I didn't care about that. Everybody else made their weight my issue. They made my weight their issue. And I was never concerned about it at all. And so it wouldn't be until I would get a job where I worked with someone, became her friend. We were very close. We were very cool, at least, or so I thought. And it wouldn't be until I was in our office, because we all shared an office. It was me, her, and her husband. We all shared an office. And I was reading an article about the owner of Abercrombie and Fitch and the designer of it. And he was just saying how his clothes are not made for people of a certain size. And, you know, I was just like shocked. I'm like, who does he think he is? So I decided to share the story that I was reading on my computer with my two coworkers, right? Big mistake. Big mistake. Okay. Now I'm thinking we're cool. We're, you know, chill. I've never exalted myself above anybody else based off of what I look like, based off my size or any of that. But that didn't mean that there wasn't some form of a little volcano, you know, down there bubbling up in somebody else's mind and heart concerning what I look like. And so this will be the catalyst, or this will be the, you know, key in the ignition that would set this person off to give me a piece of her mind about what I look like and what my body frame and build meant to her. So I'm like, I'm reading the article to them, telling them what this guy said. And I'm like, this is like some really jerk behavior and so despicable. Like, what does he mean? He didn't make his clothes for anybody over a XXL or whatever. And so she's just sitting at her desk like, you know, people like you can wear his clothes, right? And I'm like, yeah, I used to wear them when I was in high school. I don't wear them now, but I have wore Abercrombie shirts. Like Abercrombie and Aeropostale was the spots, okay? From the 99 to the 2005 or 2006 even. That's where you went to get your little polo shirts. If you couldn't get you a Ralph Lauren polo, you got your Abercrombie polo. You got you a little Aeropostale polo with the little whale on the side. You did what you had to do, okay? Or the A87. I'm just saying, telling my age, I'm 33 and glad about it. But that was the era of those type of brands before Fashion Nova and before Forever 21 came around in H&M. Those were the stores that we went to get our clothes when we weren't in uniforms. So I knew the brand very well, but I never felt as if though I was better than anyone else because I could fit their clothes. Like, how crazy is that to feel that way? I don't. So we're talking and she's just going in about, you know, society standards and views of weight and how they shame people and how people like him, you know, are pretty much crazy, dumb, out of control, and should not be allowed to spew that kind of hatred towards people who already have body issues. And so I was agreeing with her. I was like, absolutely. I said, I think it's ridiculous. And I don't think that he should have any more sales. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't enough for her. She wanted to further, you know, attack the person who was in the room with her, who she felt like could still wear those clothes. Even though I don't wear the clothes, she went in full, you know, she went in full throttle. And so she would go on to tell me that I wasn't healthy. The way that I looked, my body frame and all of that was not one that's healthy. If people were to look at me, this is what she said, y'all. If people were to look at me and look at her, she asked me, who did I think they would say was healthy? Just based off of society standards and what models normally look like. Who would they say was healthy? And I didn't answer her. And she said, I'll tell you, me. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm still sitting at my desk, not even knowing how to respond to her, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie and tell y'all I went back at her because I didn't. I didn't have anything to say because I didn't expect that conversation to go that route. Out of all of the insulting and the jokes that have been made about me and my size throughout my young adult life, I didn't expect to be 23, 24, sitting there talking to a 30-something-year-old woman with 3 kids. And she's literally telling me that I look unhealthy. I look like the picture of sickness. Literally. That's what she was telling me I look like. And so I'm just sitting there and she was like, yeah, you know that people throw up to maintain the size that you are. Like, that's what people do. Like, nobody's your size unless they're doing something like that. And I'm like, well, that's not true because I don't do that at all. And y'all know that I love to eat. I eat often. No comment from her. So in her mind, she's probably thinking I'm out here bulimic or something, eating and then throwing up, or, you know, bulimic, or the other word that's an I. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot think, and I'm not going to be able to keep going. Anorexic. It's not an I. It was an A. Anorexic, bulimic. And so she's insinuating essentially, yeah, you may like to eat, but you probably throw it up. Like me saying, well, y'all know I'm not, well, you know I ain't doing that because I like to eat a lot. Like, I eat all the time. But that wasn't good enough. And so it was still a projection and an energy and an attitude that you think you're better than because you look like that, but you're not. I'm here to tell you that you actually look unhealthy. And nobody who would see you would think that you were healthy if they looked at you and looked at me. That's literally how this person who I thought was my friend, who I love so very much, I really did. And it broke my heart, you guys. It broke my heart so bad that after we had the little, I ain't gonna even say conversation or dialogue because I wasn't the one doing much talking. Okay. I was getting read down. All right. For something I did not do. I went to the back and I was crying and I was so angry. I was so angry. Because I had someone who I really thought I could trust to be myself around, like whatever that looked like, whatever that sounded like literally attack me for being me for no reason. Like, solicited, untriggered, but that was not good enough. That wasn't good enough. So I called my husband. I was talking to him and telling him what happened. And he was like, you need to let her know how she made you feel. And I was like, but what is that going to do? Like, she's probably not going to apologize. She probably don't even know she did it. The way that she was talking to me and looking at me while she was going in, it was just totally unbelievable. Like, I was shocked, you guys, and it hurt me to my core. And so I did not address it. I did not talk to her about it because I didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to make anybody uncomfortable. And she already thought that people my size felt like we were better than others. So surely I didn't want to go back in there and tell her about herself and further, I guess, if you will, prove her right about it. And so that was just something that has been on my heart and in my mind for a very long time. And I mean, we would go on to have other things to happen within our friendship that continue to validate the thoughts from that instance onto the, complete dissolving of our friendship. But it's just things like that that always stick with me now when I consider making new friends. I want to respect people for who they are and for what they look like, whatever that is. Your size doesn't matter to me. I do not care what my size is. If people are always making your appearance, what you have, the topic of conversation, if people have to joke about you in order to get comedic relief for whatever they feel like their life is or isn't, you need to see that as a red flag. Take my lips as a red flag, okay? Red flag. I'm out here to start giving y'all some bullet points at the end of my videos on how you know when you need to remove yourself from certain environments and relationships that simply do not serve you. If people are making fun of you, if people are always commenting on who you are, how you are, what you have or what you do, and making it to where it seems like a compliment, but it's really an underhanded dig to make themselves feel okay with how they truly feel about you, remove yourself from that. I'm not about asking you what that was about. I'm not going to ask you because I can feel it. I can discern it. People don't comment on things that they're not bothered by. People don't ignore things that they don't care about. You ignore things that aren't even in your mind anyway. And there's only so many times I'm going to gloss over you insulting me. I'm going to gloss over and say, oh, she ain't really like that girl. She just playing. But it hurt. What do you do with your playing becoming my pain? I can't let the two exist in our friendship and relationship. So that was just one of many times, but that was the last time. Praise Jehovah. That was the last time anyone has ever talked about my weight, because since then I've moved to Texas and nobody here cares about that. Nobody that I'm around has talked to me about my size or what I look like or if it's healthy or not. People simply are just living their lives, existing, enjoying whatever it is that God has blessed them with in life. And in freedom. And even if they don't believe in God, whatever, people are just out here living their lives, not putting any restraints on it or projecting any of their feelings onto other people. And I would never do it to other people at all. So if you've ever been around me and you've noticed how I don't really give in or talk about weight or exercising or eating healthy or any of that, this is like one of the core reasons. I do not discuss politics, religion, weight, and parenting with people. At all. Oh, and finances. Okay, we're not gonna talk about politics, coins, religion, parenting, and weight. I don't touch them topics because people will lure you in to get your opinion and then turn your words on you. And we ain't finna go there. I'm just not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So make sure you watch out for all of those red flags. If your pain is, if your feelings are always on the chopping block for other people to get comic relief, check that. All right. And if anybody ever wants you to feel bad about who you are and how you were created, remove yourself from their presence. Okay. And they don't have to have any commentary on what you look like or how much you weigh or how much you don't weigh, because they won't even get a chance to see you. All right. I probably look real skinny from a distance because you can't see me. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in for this amazing video. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let other people know about what we do over here at Christian's Corner. All right, let me go be somebody mama who knocking on my door. Bye, y'all.